This is kind of turning into a funeral service, a memorandum, a commemoration of an undead, of a not yet dead Hank Green. So, Hank Green has cancer. Raise your hand if you're angry. Raise your hand if you easily get angry. So I was just on the internet, and I try not to look at what's trending on YouTube, but I accidentally saw it, and then it was like Hank Green, and then it was the title, and I was like, oh my god, my brain exploded, as one brain does. And so I watched the video, and I was like, yeah, that kind of sucks. And then I don't know, I just kept thinking about it, like all these things I wanted to talk about, and then just feeling guilty about how I shouldn't talk about it. I should. So I'm just trying to make this video to process what happened, and I guess just talk about it. Anyone that wants to talk about it, I don't really know. I feel pretty guilty, but that's just kind of how I operate anyway. I'll show you here. Is it recording? Yeah, I think it's recording. I'm trying to record my screen here. I remember watching this video he did about living with a chronic disease, because he has ulcerative colitis, and I don't know, I mean, I don't have that, but I have my own issues. I have migraines and just mental issues that keep me from like really socializing, and even at the point where I'm like, I don't even want to socialize. I'm not that kind of person, you know. I feel my anxiety and I feel my angst, and I'm really happy to be in my room, and for, you know, for it to be dark, and like the aloneness loves me, you know. The emptiness of my room loves me. I don't need socialization, because I'm not interested in it. Others are interested in it. I am not. And I really appreciated his video about just how he lives with stuff. Like here, he was talking about a new normal as you go through life and you have different things happening to you.
This disease, if it has taught me anything, has taught me that things that once were unthinkable become eventually blasé. And to a lot of people watching this, people are going to be like, ooh, because there's something unthinkably embarrassing about pooping in your pants. To you, not to me anymore. People are like, Hank, why is there a pair of boxer shorts in your bag? And I'm like, in case I poop in my pants. And then it's just silence, just stunned. What? And to people that have just been diagnosed with colitis, they might...
I love that. That's funny. And then, you know, that video, a lot of their videos. I remember when my husband was having mental health issues earlier this year, just a few months ago, like 2 months ago, and we were lost from information and looking stuff up. Again, it was so nice to see a familiar face, and you know, there was Hank. Yeah.
Ability to function, it can come to be known as post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD. It was once called shell shock, a term used to describe the condition of veterans like Tolkien in World War I, but PTSD isn't limited to veterans. It's defined as a psychological disorder.
There's Hank Green, a familiar face, explaining PTSD. There he is explaining OCD.
Counting the exact number of steps they take everywhere they go. If you're still unclear about what it means for disorders to be deviant, distressful, and dysfunctional, OCD might help you understand. Because it is hard to keep a job, run a household, sit still, or do much of anything if you feel intensely compelled to run to the kitchen 20 times an hour. And both...
And there. It's just everywhere. You know? And it's nice. It's nice to have a familiar face talking about things that you need help with. Alright, having said all this nice stuff, in order to make you like me, now we're gonna try to go into satire, because I process stuff through humor, and there's other people who do that too. I feel so bad. So basically, beyond this point, if the video sounds really snarky, mean, and everything is backwards and upside down, is because I'm going to try to be funny. I'm going to try to lighten something that's heavy. I'm going to try to get my brain from a place where it's stuck and confused to a place where it's less stuck and confused and willing to go on with life. Alright. Without further ado, we descend into the hellfire of satire. Zing! Alright, so I watched this video a couple of days ago, and back then it had about 5.5 million views. Now it's got like 7 million views. Usually their channel gets like 100k to 500k, so definitely people are like all stirred up about this, trying to figure out what's going on with Hank, and yeah. Alright, let's just watch the video, and if the snark wants to come out and play, it will. If it doesn't, if it just wants to be shy, then we'll just watch it straightforward and just be nice. Yeah, I'll just give nice commentary.
Good morning, John. So there...
Alright, so this kind of hit me pretty hard. Okay, here we go.
I've been a bunch of times over the last few weeks when this has become more and more real. This is the big one, though. So I noticed that my lymph nodes were big. I talked to my doctor. She says probably nothing. We'll send you in for an ultrasound. Got an ultrasound. The tech in the ultrasound room was like, I'm gonna go get a doctor. That's not what you want.
Yeah, it's bad
to have happen. She was great, the tech, and so was the doctor. And they were like, this looks like it could be suspicious for lymphoma, and we'll get you in for a biopsy. And then I took the order for the surgery and like the paperwork down to the surgery office, and I like gave it to the woman at the window, and she's like, ooh, hand delivery. And I was like, well, yeah, the surgery's tomorrow. And she's like, oh, procrastinator. And I was like, well, no, it just got scheduled just now. And then like, like her eye.
Okay, I'm just gonna remark on the fact that this is good storytelling that he's doing here. Alright, beyond the cancer, beyond everything, one must be able to stop and appreciate good storytelling, and this is good storytelling, right? He's showing how through somebody else's eye. It's always like that, like when you're writing a novel or you're doing a movie or whatever, you don't want to just be telling the character, oh, this is such a dramatic event. You kind of want to show it by like the surrounding people and how they're reacting. Like if you have a handsome character, right, in a novel, you don't want just the main character to be like, whoa, handsome character. You want like all their friends. You want everyone else in the school. Think Twilight. You want everyone else to be going like, oh, that's a handsome character. And then you start getting the impression that it's true.
Eyes change. It's like when you're in the American healthcare system, you don't expect things to move quick. Like that's not what it does. That's not what it looks like. And then when it starts to get a little bit efficient, it's actually quite disconcerting. I've seen that so many times, and it doesn't look like that. What's happening right now? It's like seeing a horse that has hands. It's just not. That's very upsetting. Like it's.
It's funny that he says that because I grew up in Canada, and in Canada, the health system is like it's free, but it's a little bit slower than here. So it's funny that he says, because my husband always teases me, we have this debate. He's like, yeah, healthcare is free in Canada, but it's slower. And I'm like, well, yeah, but you get some, you know. And so, yeah, it's funny that he's saying that healthcare here is slow. It is slow, like, unless you're dropping dead. Like you're like dropping dead. You're fainting. You're passing out. You're calling 911, like I have in the past. And then you go to like the ER, you go to the ICU, you go to the hospital. They'll help you there. But unless you're in that state, you're just home. You're dragging through months to appointments that are like months apart. People are just kind of picking at you. They're like, I don't know what you have.
It's good. I'm glad everybody's taking things seriously right now. But holy! So her eyes change, and it's like seeing a flight attendant on a plane that's in the air, running down the aisle. Like that can't be
good storytelling.
Good.
Either somebody or everybody's having a very bad day. Because I don't know all the noises a plane makes, and I don't know all the ways that the healthcare system works, but you do.
It's almost like this almost makes me feel like he's an author.
And you look like something is weird. I already knew it was weird, though. Everybody has been great and very supportive, but biopsy, good news, bad news. One, it's cancer. It's called lymphoma. It's a cancer of the lymphatic system. And good news is something called Hodgkin's lymphoma. It's the most treatable, like one of the most treatable.
I think that's what they said, like Jane Austen had. I know. I refer everything back to Jane Austen because it helps me figure out what's going on. Hodgkin's. Persuasive evidence. Jane suffered from Hodgkin's disease. Recent medical evidence suggests a close association between Hodgkin's disease and a previous history of infectious mononucleosis. Is that just mono? What's this mononucleosis? It's mono, like, you know, and we're like, I have mono. It affects young adults. Yeah, it's mono. My husband had mono, the kissing disease, before I met him. A while before I met him. He's like, water fountain gave it to me. It's like, you're right. Water fountain gave it to you. Is Hodgkin's disease cancer the same as Hodgkin's lymphoma? Hodgkin's lymphoma, which used to be called Hodgkin's disease, is one of the general categories of lymphoma. Yeah, there's no Hodgkin's lymphoma. Yeah, it's the same thing. I just wanted to check. I mean, Hodgkin's isn't exactly like a typical name, so like how many Hodgkin's diseases is there? I think that's somebody's name. Some dude, probably. Some dude named Hodgkin. Named it after himself. Who was Hodgkin? Who was Hodgkin? Tell me. Who was Hodgkin lymphoma named after? Dr. Thomas Hodgkin. There you go. Cancer describes several cases of people with symptoms of cancer involving the lymph nodes. Yeah. When was the first cancer discovered? Tell me. Wow. Earliest cancerous growths in humans were found in Egyptian. Yeah, but like when did science start calling it? Cancer existed long before humans were able to create synthetic substances that can cause cancer. That's nice. Back then people died so early that it didn't matter. When did people first realize the existence of cancer? Yeah, when did people start knowing about cancer? The first cause of cancer was identified by British surgeon Percival Pott, who discovered in 1975 the cancer of the scrotum was a common disease among the chimney sweeps. Cancer may have been discovered and written about thousands of years ago. However, the disease itself has actually existed since before the evolution of humans. This is the history of cancer here if you want to get historical. So people were chopping people for a long time. Discovery of the lymphatic system. That's interesting. 17th century discovery of the lymphatic system led to new ideas about cancer. Alright. How cancer was named. Most people say Hippocrates. I can't say his name. Hippocrates. Hippocrates. I can't say his name. As the first person to use the word cancer, he actually named the Greek word karkinos and karkinoma when he wrote about tumors. Alright, we're not gonna get a straight answer here. That's for sure. Then we've got modern autopsies here. we got those chimney sweeps with the testicular cancer here. The first time, 1775, first time a cancer was connected to an environmental cause. Alright, let's move on, because we are grossly off track.
Cancers. It responds very well to treatment.
So here I noticed that he does spend the time kind of like, he spends time reassuring us. Like, he knows that he's got a certain type of audience, and he knows that people are gonna care and be worried, and I do appreciate him going into this detail here, because I care and I am worried. Legitimately.
The goal was cure. The procedure to get there is fairly well known, if unpleasant. I have a friend, amazingly enough, who has been through a diagnosis and treatment and remission and is 10 years post with Hodgkin's lymphoma. It's been really nice to have that in my back pocket for
That's interesting. That sounds like support.
Texting and being like, is this normal? And am I panicking? And please tell me I'm gonna be okay. But the treatment is a fairly well-established system of chemotherapies, which I'm gonna start very soon. Not looking really forward to it, but I'm looking forward to starting on the path. Yeah, prognosis is very good for people with Hodgkin's lymphoma. It seems likely that we caught mine early. I'm still waiting on a scan to sort of confirm that. But even when it's not super early, even when it's in multiple parts of the body, Hodgkin's is super treatable. Like solid mass tumors, like lung cancer or prostate.
Yeah, I love how he explains this here, which makes sense, because he does sciencey videos. But I really like the explanation here, because I've never heard of this right here.
Cancer. To figure out how to live somewhere else in the body is like cool. A really big leap for them. It means that they've changed and they've evolved and they've got like a bunch of new strategies for survival, which is why metastasis in solid cancers is a really big deal. This is a blood cancer, so it's a cancer of the immune cells, the lymphocytes, and so they are already all over the body. Other parts of the body are like, hey, yo, that you're fine here. Whereas like prostate cells in the lungs would normally get attacked, and so
that's cool. I think that's cool. I like how he explains it.
Cancer cells in the lungs means that they've developed a whole set of new strategies. Lymphoma cells don't have to do that, so it doesn't mean something super bad if lymphoma has spread. It's worse, for clarity, but it's not the same giant gap between like stage 1 and stage 4 with lymphoma as it is with solid mass tumors. Anyway, I have a bunch of risk factors for lymphoma, including medications I've taken.
All right, so I think it's really interesting that he mentions friends here, and he kind of still feels connected to the community. Anytime anything happens to me, I just, I don't know, I break away. I break away into this like deep loneliness and misunderstanding. And honestly, that's kind of mirrored into like the issues I have, or at least the way I perceive them. I always think I'm alone. No one else gets it. No one else understands me. The weird one that has to explain herself. But honestly, like, I get migraines. I get really bad migraines, but they're triggered by LEDs. And only LEDs. So I'm in my room all the time, and I have, I have, okay. I have like cardboard on the windows, because, LEDs are out there, and I feel them through the window. And I can only use really old technology, and I can't really go outside. I can't go outside without feeling like in a lot of pain, and like I'm throwing up, and like my whole body has shut down, and I also get like intense anxiety. So anytime I go out, I hate the world. I hate the world. I hate everything I see. Everything is useless, pointless, depressing, existential. So yeah, I mean, on the one hand, if I were to have a perspective where I'm not alone, I would say, I'm not the only thing in the world that gets migraines. But in terms of LEDs, I'm like one of 5 people in the world that gets LED only migraines. I've looked them up. I've searched the internet. It's very hard to find someone like me. And so I feel lonely. And so I think it's very fascinating that he doesn't. He's like, this is a well-treated disease. I have friends who can cover me. I can contact people. I think that's a very interesting perspective. Now, over here, he talks about risk factors for lymphoma, that medications he's taken. Like my knee-jerk kind of human ego protective personality response to anything like bad happening in the world or to someone I care about or don't care about. I kind of just care about everyone in general. Is my knee-jerk response is twofold. One of it is just like anger. I don't really get sad about things usually. I just anger. My general negative emotion is anger, fight, beat it up kind of thing. So it's anger, and then the other feeling is this protective, like, oh my god, what did that person do wrong in order to get there? You know, how did that person ask for it? Why did that happen to them? Or kind of like, you know how you're reading about I was like really obsessed, like when I was in high school and stuff, you're reading about like rape victims, and the newspaper they take up an inordinately large part of the newspaper for some reason, and they get stuck in your mind. These are like traumatic and tragic things, and they just kind of keep your mind going. And so there's always a part of you that's like, oh, that's not right, that shouldn't have happened. And then there's a part of you that's like, I wonder if they did something that made this happen to them, and it's just like their fault, and because I can blame it on them, because I can blame it on it being their fault, I can feel safer and more secure in myself and the fact that it will never happen to me. And so here I find it interesting that he talks about, listen very carefully to what he says here. First of all, you know how people blame rape victims? They're like, well, the rape victim dressed slutty and they got raped. Or it's like, so here we're going to determine, did Hank Green dress slutty for cancer? Did he ask for it? Right? We're also going to look at like law of attraction. I know he, like Hank Green isn't into the law of attraction. I don't even know if anyone in his community is in it, but I'm in it, and I'm a real person, and I'm right here, and I count. And so I'm getting my confidence. And so yeah, I think that's always curious, because people are always like, if law of attraction exists, then why do bad things happen to good people? So based on law of attraction, and based on the fact that it says that we magnetize things into our lives that, not to say we want, but maybe things that we expect, or things that we are fascinated with, right? Let's take a look from that perspective and see what Hank says, and this is very interesting here.
Including the fact that I have an autoimmune disease, including the fact that I had mono when I was a kid.
Mono! I just said mono.
Factors. So it was something that I was looking out for and have been aware of. I'm glad everybody took it seriously, and we got a diagnosis.
See, he's like, I've been looking for it. I've been looking for you, cancer.
This is pretty quick. I said this to you already, John. I said, this is the best time so far in human history to get lymphoma, which is a very Hank Green thought, and then you gave me a very John Green thought and said, well, a year from now would have been better. So I'm going to talk about this in
I love their friendship and stuff. So yeah, honestly, this might not resonate. Take this if it resonates, and leave it if it doesn't, and don't hate me in the meantime. But I think I look at a lot of stuff from a higher perspective, and from a higher perspective, like why would Hank Green get cancer? Like, I know a lot of times we kind of live life and we speak to each other in such a way where we imply that being healthy is the ultimate thing in life. We're here to be healthy. We're here to have peace on the planet. We are here to lower plastics and improve the life of dolphins. But ultimately, I think that we are here in order to experience. Period. Dot. I think that which animates us, soul, spirit, energy, chi, I think it don't care. It don't care if you get 7.5 hours of sleep a night. I think it just cares to be alive. You know, I think we want to be alive. Whether that means we're living passionate, hectic love affairs, whether it means we're out at war, you know, shooting each other down, whether it means we're terrified of making YouTube videos. I think the thing that animates us is excited by us being alive and having experiences. And actually, I think that's why it feels so bad to be depressed or to be blocking yourself from doing what you want to do in life. Because it's like, I love this, I'm gonna do it. And it's like, no, I'm gonna stop myself. I'm gonna stop myself. And that's, this hitting is the pain of depression, you know. And so so from a higher perspective, I think that both Hank and John Green have a history of going through diseases, sharing their experiences, kind of being teachers, you know, being for others who are going through those experiences. I know a lot of people will be like, you're making up fairy tales, you're making up saccharine stuff to make yourself feel better. It's like, hell yes I am. Because why not? It's my life. And it's my life perspective. And if I don't decide what that looks like, then who should be deciding what that looks like? You know, in life, the bottom line is we go around trying to make ourselves feel better. Right?
Like a weird way now, and I don't want you to think that I'm not processing this in a deeper, sort of more emotional way or with regards to my personal life. It's just that I don't really want to do that here right now because it's very heavy to talk about the diagnosis from those perspectives, but I do feel comfortable and ready to talk publicly about it in terms of my work, whatever that is, which is important. You know, like one of the things that I've noticed about this is that there are practicalities. And this is also true of like any big unpleasantness in a life, that there's like logistics to take care of. And so I've been dealing with a lot of logistics, like who do you tell, how do you tell them, what are we going to do about different things that I'm working on. So I've talked to a few friends who have been through various different cancers and cancer treatments. And one of the things that
I was like feeling really anxious trying to... Every time I try to film or write, there's like the project, like the Holy Grail, right? And then there's all this walls. There's like a fortress of anxiety that I have to kind of climb over to get into. And then I'm always like, maybe I should just back off. Maybe I should just go watch Netflix. Maybe I should be a better mother, right? But if I make it over the wall and get into doing my work, there's this like, there's like this calm, and there's like this like feeling like I'm on life purpose, and there's this feeling like it doesn't matter what I'm saying, like I'm here and this is what I should be doing, and the judgment is out the door, the worry about people liking me is out the door, the fail win mentality is out of the door. It's just like I'm here and I'm being me, and that feels good. And that's kind of where I've gone into right now. I just feel kind of comfortable and I feel relieved that I'm doing it. I'm doing the thing, and I'm not just gonna spend all my time hating myself that I haven't done the thing that I have wanted to do.
It all said is, this is your job now. Do this one day at a time. Don't have obligations. You can have things that you can do if you want to that day, and it's good to have those things because...
So his job is gonna be cancer? Like taking care of himself, basically?
Depression and anxiety are a big part of this, and like I'm not a person who has struggled a lot with that, but I have seen firsthand now how intricately linked those things can be, and the call of just lay in bed and feel
the call
bad.
Of lay in bed. I know the call of lay in bed. I actually have the call of like stay up all night. until the point where all your days you're so exhausted and trashed out, and like you're intoxicated on sleep deprivation, and you can give yourself the excuse of why you're not functioning in your life.
Bad is very strong, and even though I don't feel bad at all right now, except for like some soreness because of the biopsy and maybe because my lymph nodes are big, I don't feel any symptoms of this. I feel fine. I don't even really feel fatigued. It's hard to tell. I feel stressed. It's my main symptom. But the moment I start chemo, I'm gonna feel a lot of symptoms from that, and they're like, that's gonna be like, just dealing with that is gonna be a lot, and you're not gonna be good at stuff. You're not gonna be good at stuff. Like, don't expect to be able to do your life. So basically what that means is like, what am I gonna make? I don't know. Am I gonna make Vlogbrothers videos? Am I gonna make Dear Hank and John? Am I gonna make SciShow? And I'm gonna make Tangents?
Yeah, he makes he does so much stuff.
I don't know. Playing it by ear, I know that I'm gonna feel like garbage. Like, it's gonna be really unpleasant. Chemo is intentionally poisoning your body so that the super hungry cells get poisoned more and die. And that's...
Yeah, chemo is a trip. It's like a really trippy thing.
That's how it works, and it works well. But like, you gotta put a lot of poison in. Now, one of the lovely things about
that seems really counterintuitive. It's good here that he's got pretty positive outlook, or at least he appears to. I mean, I'm sure he's got like, you know what I mean? But yeah, he's like, oh, it's a thing, I gotta go through it. Actually, I don't know anyone like super personally, but there's this group I'm part of, sort of, that's the spiritual group, and I think somebody in the group had cancer, and she didn't seem really freaked out. I think she had it for a while, and she's like, yeah, I'm just doing the chemo, it's almost done, I want to be done. But like, I don't know, I just always thought like having cancer would be like, I would be losing my mind. I'd be like, why me? Yeah. I tend to be dramatic though, so that's my way.
My experience of my colleagues and this community, nobody's going to expect me to do anything. Nobody's going to be expecting things from me. Now, I do operate off of
So I just want to note here that it is really nice to know that he's got the money, the social stability, the social network, socioeconomic stability. So, he's got a lot of his bases covered. He's not going to sit around worrying how to get his bills paid. So that's good. That's nice. That's nice to know.
And so I do want some reasons to get out of bed, and I'm going to try and set some of those up for me. But I'm much more worried about me putting too much pressure on me to do things or worry about things. And so that's going to be something that I have to get.
Is he a redhead? I usually wear orange glasses when I film. When I do anything on a computer, so everything is always orange for me. And I took them off just to film this, and now I'm seeing everything in color, and I'm like, whoa.
Better at. You can see this probably more in my actions than my words, but I'm a very driven person, and I take obligations, like I hold them very seriously, and they weigh on me a lot and cause a lot of stress when there's like space between what I feel I should get done and what I feel capable of, what I am capable of doing. And so that's one of my big worries. I'm just saying it out loud for myself mostly, but also to say, I hope you are down with me making stuff when I feel like it, because I love it, and like I need to be doing things when I feel up for it. And also, I know that you'll be fine with me taking breaks. And I don't like, this could be, I have no idea. It's on the order. It's not going to be less than 4 months of chemo. Another thing I'm worried about, that's not a big deal, and I know it's silly, but I'm wrestling with the reality that this is now part of how people are going to imagine me. It's like, it's an identity that I'm having thrust upon me, which happens to people all the time and is totally the thing that I will get over, but
So that's really interesting that he's pointing this out here. I find it kind of fascinating. I don't know if I remember. I don't know. I don't know. I'm very fluid with identities. Like, I don't... Like, the way I'm a very energetic person. And when I meet someone, I'll just feel their energies. And I usually feel... The way I feel about people is like, I don't feel like, oh, that's the person that's a computer scientist, and that's the person who's a mechanic. And, like, I usually feel, like, generous, kind. Like, I feel their, like their body energy. And I usually be like, oh, kindness is here. Like, oh, funny, or whatever, you know. Or, like, calmness walked by. Like the way I perceive people is through their body's energy and the way they run energy. And, not so much as to what happens to them, what they've worked, what they've done, what life experiences they've had, what diseases they've had. I'm trying to think back when I was younger if I used to do that, and I think I used to do that more a little bit, but more in the sense of like, that person is sketchy and this might put me in danger, so I should avoid them. Like if someone has a certain type of attitude or a history of something. But again, that was more of a protective thing. I've never headed towards disease. I have a fascination with diseases, physical, mental illnesses, people, anything. Anything to bring. Yeah, I have a fascination with humans. And I'm not really concerned with health. That sounds weird.
I do just kind of want to say it out loud. That, like, I want to be, like, fun, goofy science guy. Not like struggling with anxiety cancer guy. And like, you know, you can be both. So I think I just have to let that go.
That's sweet. That's so sweet. It's sweet and interesting. I love how he's thought this out like every inside out a million ways. But I mean that's what the Vlogbrothers do.
Because it's just one more thing that I'm not in control of right now, which is a lot of things. Like, there are things that you have absolute control over, very few. And then there's like a spectrum all the way to you have no control. But now there's just this big set of my life that I have no control over. And I'm struggling with that. That's hard. That's like a kind of, it's like a thing to grieve. And my last lesson, since I have you here, is that all of the time I've ever spent...
See that? He even said, he's like, my last lesson? He's a teacher, you know? He's a teacher, and I like how he pointed out grieving. That's something I've always struggled with. The grieving stages. Like, I just never got it in my brain. It never got through my brain. Like, life has seasons. It's got, like, spring, summer, fall, winter. You're starting a project, you're excited, you're working on the project, you're wrapping things up, you're bringing in the harvest, and then winter is, I've never been comfortable with winter. It's either this, it can be a time of celebrating with your friends and relaxing, but for me, winter and endings have always meant being wrenched away from a living place for your parents to move you to another living place and losing all your friends. And winter and endings have always meant sadness and things happening against your control, against your will. So I've really been trying to spend time being okay with grieving, letting things go, and being okay and trying to invite the celebration phase of winter into my life. Because when I was for many years, I lived in a very fight, flight, and freeze kind of response state. And so when you're in that state, you just have to be so tough and rough about everything that I used to be like, yeah, I don't need to party, like, I don't need to relax, I don't need to take time off, I'm too serious, I'm working so hard, that stuff isn't important, you know? So I would cut myself away from fun or relaxing or regenerating your body. I would just be like, go, 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 go.
Investing in friendships, and even when they have been hard, to try and keep them strong, and even when I have been busy, to try and spend time with them has been joyful in the moment and wise in the long term.
Joyful in the moment, wise in the long term. Very literary of you, Hank. And again, I mean, I applaud him for being able to talk to people. That's good. Very good.
I really needed friends in the last few weeks, and I've been very grateful to have them. I felt very lucky to have great friends and family around to joke with and hang with and support me and give me the good vibes, you know? And now I have requests, if you could believe it. My requests are, one, I do not need healthcare.
He's so sweet. Like, you can tell how much he has thought out the needs of the community and the viewership. He reassured us that his cancer is treatable. He reassured us he has support. He is even allowing us, like, this is like a psychological thing. He's allowing us to contribute to something that could help him, and he's telling us what that is. Right? That's a gift to us, right? Because people are gonna want to help him, right? But I mean, the Vlogbrothers have always been like that. Even from, I remember the beginning of their videos when they first, very first started. They were always like that. Like, this is how you can help us. This is what you can do, so we can have a community project together.
I am being very well taken care of. I know that there are a lot of different ways and a lot of different things that are very helpful to a lot of different people. I have that in people suggesting things to me in my world of friends and acquaintances. This is too big of a group for that. I think I would be overwhelmed. And more broadly, here are non-mainstream ways to deal with cancer and to fight cancer itself. I find that to, of course, be well-meaning, but confusing and distracting and not for me. Second, I'm not really a, let's fight this thing together kind of guy. I think that the prognosis for illness is mostly down to good science, good healthcare, good outlook, good attitude, and chance. It's too much of it, much more than we would like to think, comes down to chance.
Okay, honestly, first of all, I like that he said, alternative advice is not for me. That was respectful enough. But also, I love Hank and John Green. I love them to pieces. I love the way they intellectualize. I love the way they speak. I love their anxiety. I love everything about them. But that's the one differing point, and it's a huge differing point, where they speak in terms of chance. We don't know if life has meaning. We're just here trying to slog. That's my big differing point. On that point, I'm the antithesis of them. Because I see meaning. I feel meaning. There's order to the universe, and that's just how my brain sees it. That is how my energy feels it, and there is no wrong or right. We're all artists, painting our own perspectives and having our own experiences. And I respectably have a different opinion, but I also, I also love their opinion, because it does not make me feel threatened in mine. And I enjoy it. I enjoy there being differing opinions. It would drive me bananas if everyone agreed with me. Absolutely bananas. I actually, I gravitate towards people who oppose me on many things, because it's more fun.
I feel very grateful to all of the people who have spent their careers studying disease and cancer and lymphoma and Hodgkin's specifically, which, if you can believe this, was originally thought to be a form of tuberculosis when it was first discovered in the early 1900s. It's not, but they thought it was. So it all comes back. Everything is tuberculosis, John. All this is to say,
That's cute. Ooh, really nice wraparound. That's very author of him as well to do that. Wrap it back up, back to what they've been talking about.
I don't need there to be a big thing about it. I just
in the previous videos, they had all this tuberculosis stuff.
One. y'all to know.
What did he say here?
The early 1900s. It's not, but they thought it was. So it all comes back. Everything is tuberculosis, John. All this is to say, like, I don't need there to be, like, a big thing about it. I just want y'all to know where I'm at and what's going on. Now, at the same time, I do understand that people are gonna want to do something. Like,
That's what I was thinking.
And I have requests. I do.
This is him going out of the way to help us help him, because it will ultimately help us.
Have things that I would like from you. Here are two things you can do. First, if you haven't, you can sign up for our newsletter. Like, I think, knowing me, I'm going to still find joy in creating and communicating with people if I can. And the easiest, lowest lift way of doing that, still want that, but I'm not feeling up to making videos in the description, and I'd appreciate that. Second, if you could give me ideas for movies and TV shows and video games that are not heavy at all, like no emotion. I go watch the Dungeons and Dragons movie because I think that's gonna be a fun time, and not all of the themes were restful for me, I have to say. So really dumb things that will not make you cry, could not make any.
Yeah, so my husband was suffering from PTSD this year, and like he was started being unable to watch like Gilmore Girls, which is like a comedy, and there's just some hospital scenes, and he was just like skip it like he just couldn't handle stuff. And I remember there was a time in my life I also couldn't handle Gilmore Girls. that's the bar, you know. That's how I know something is wrong, you know, with my mental health, if I can't like handle like comedy.
Anyone cry, because I've been told that I'm gonna have some time to consume media, and I desperately need to be distracted. As you can tell, I'm fine, but I'm not fine, and it sucks. Like, I know that this sucks most for me, but I also know that it sucks for everybody in this community. So I feel like apologizing, but that would be stupid. So I'm not going to, but I think you know what I mean.
Nah, he should apologize. He has upset all of us. He was right on the right path, and he swerved, just veered right off apology road. Oh, I know, he needs to make one of those like really bad apology videos in the vein of YouTube bad apology videos, because of course one should apologize for their sickness and illness, for their weakness, for worrying their loved ones and society. And you know, one should apologize for generally taking up air and resources and the pollution of their very exhalation in life. Personally, I know that I have apologized for these things for a very long time. It is the right thing to do, and everybody knows that. It's the right thing to do. It's the thoughtful thing to do.
I just want to recognize that it sucks. So thanks. I hope this isn't my last Vlog Brothers video.
Golden Globe Award speech. I just want to recognize that this sucks.
For 4 months or whatever. If it is, it is. I don't want to put pressure on me. John will probably take some time off because it's just probably a little weird to post just him on the channel. But we'll play it by ear. We'll figure it out as we go, one day at a time. And I continue to be extraordinarily grateful for so many of the things in my life, including this. And John, I'll see you on Tuesday.
Wow, that was the kicker. That was the kicker. That's the thing that tells you everything, right? Let's listen to it one more time. This is the most important line of this video, out of many important lines.
Extraordinarily grateful for so many of...
I continue to be extraordinarily grateful. I always have closed captions on because it helps my ADHD brain. I continue to be extraordinarily grateful for so many things in my life, including this. Whoop.
Of the things in my life, including this. And John, I'll see you on Tuesday.
All right. I do see life as being about having experiences, also about the exchange, not about health and peace, but more about the exchange of love. I think of life as being more about giving and receiving love. Everything else is just setting. Like, you know, if you're writing a novel, you have the story and the heart of it, and then everything else is setting. Everything else is circumstance. Is it war? Is it peace? Is it disease? Is it this? Like, it doesn't matter. You know, the heart of it is like an exchange of love. I wonder if, all that being said, I wonder if Hank Green is going to get like a wish fulfilled. You know, like a cancer wish. Do you even get those cancer wishes if you're like past a certain age? Let me see. What is the oldest you can be to get a cancer wish granted? Who is eligible for a wish? A child who has reached the age of 2.5. Under that, you're just not reliable enough to decide. Under 2.5, at least 2.5, and under 18. At the time of referral, who has a critical illness and is potentially eligible for a wish. Can adults with cancer make a wish? Wish fulfillment organizations allow people with a chronic or advanced condition to have their wishes and dreams come true. Some such wishes may include taking a family vacation, event, purchasing desired item, or something. Yeah, but can adults do it? Oh, there's one for like old people? Yeah. Yeah, you gotta be under 18. Okay, it's like once you're not a kid anymore, society is like, screw you. Go to work now. You do not have the right to more dreams any longer. And happiness? Forget it. Have you paid the taxes? What about your outstanding college balance? What about saving the environment? The penguins won't be able to continue clapping without your help, you know. So basically, if Hank Green was young and cute enough, he would get a wish, but he's not. I mean, he's old and cute. He's still cute. Let's look him up. Hank the Hanklerfish. Perfect. Hanklerfish. There he is. He's old and cute. Oh my god. Hank Green has a Hanklerfish face. Look at it. Look at that. Look at that. Oh boy. Let's scroll. Hank Green? What is he doing? Here's how you make 150 painted Hanklerfish. That's Hank Green doing his thing. What is this? Oh. That's pizza. I was like, what kind of throw up is this throw up? This is by Hanklerfish Comic at tumblr.com. Yeah, this concerned me for a second. Whoa. This is a tattoo. This is a Hanklerfish tattoo. Hannah Rose Burdette on Twitter. I got a Hanklerfish tattoo. Holy cow! That's dedication. I hope you like it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hank Green replied. Hank Green is everywhere. Oh my god, he's everywhere. He's everywhere. Cause when Hank Green gets around, Hank Green gets around. This is all so cute and adorable. It's kind of like saccharine and overwhelming. I mean, like, I can, like, a part of me can barely stand it. You know, I feel my blood sugar, you know, crashing, all that stuff. It's nice, you know, but it's like so nice. It's the kind of nice that, like, it would be nice to be part of, but you just know that you're not that nice. I don't know what that means. It's like this feeling that like you're not pure enough. You're like speckled with evil, and you can't like really connect to this community all the way. It's like they're gonna see my evil and they're gonna cast me out. This is so nice. He has done so much service. He has done. Grammarly. One second, it's
easy to use in the places you write. With one download, you get the power of generative AI.
Good morning, Hank. It's Monday. Using the magical power of green screens, I have.
Oh,
That was unnecessary.
This is a sliding chair.
You didn't change the.
He's done so much service for the community. I mean, even here, like, you know the colitis one here? Over here is like, how to get a colonoscopy. And it's just like all this stuff, you know? This is kind of turning into a funeral service, a memorandum, a commemoration of an undead, of a not yet dead Hank Green. Although he is worried about the fun science guy personality dying, so maybe we're grieving that part of that. Although honestly, I'm kind of having fun looking over how much cool stuff he's done over time and just thinking about it. I think that if he had one wish to be granted, I think his one wish, if he could get a cancer wish, if he was a little younger, I think his one wish would be something like I don't really know. Like, he's the kind of person that he already has everything. You know, it's kind of like trying to get a rich person present. But it would probably be something cheesy. I think his cancer wish would be something really cheesy. It wouldn't be for him. It would be something like, I don't know. He could be like a real pageant contestant sometime. So it would probably be something like no more women ever dying in childbirth again. It's like, good luck with that. Good luck. People drop dead whenever they want, however they want to. They just die on you. They leave you, they move, they break up with you, they abandon you, they leave you mangled. They break your high school sweetheart heart. They get sick without your permission. Even celebrities do it. Look at this. Look at Hank. Disgusting. It's disgusting. It's disappointing, really. Yeah, I think the right word for it is disappointing. I am disappointed in him and his lack of health and performance. He's not going to be able to show up for us anymore at the same level. He has made us worry. He became famous. He became beloved. And now the thing that we love is sick. And I personally do not feel comfortable with that. It's honestly kind of irresponsible of him. Really. This was supposed to be satirical. It has slipped into cynicism. Which is a slightly darker entity. I might be having some feels. I might be a little upset. Alright. Thank you for watching my completely opportunistic video where I take advantage of someone with cancer in order to get you know, a foot up with the YouTube algorithm, because they made a popular video and now, you know, people might actually notice one of my videos. I am opportunistic like that. I apologize. I don't go out of my way to cause damage, but if I see roadkill, I will go and peck at it. Do you like guilt-ridden humor? Probably not. Alright everybody, thank you for watching the video and allowing me to try and add some levity and lightness to a heavy topic. As he himself said, I do believe that humor has wonderful medicinal properties and is just encouraging in general to keep trudging through life. I appreciate you, and I will see you later. Bye! And Hanklerfish for everybody.